So today we are going to work on getting some animations into our scene and start getting everything ready to actually output our recording. So right now, first of all, my character, as I move around, is having some hair problems. I don't know if your hair characters are having bad hair days or not. That's because of LOD, level of detail. As the camera moves further away, it shifts to a lower LOD. Now, in a game, LODs are wonderful. But in virtual production, when we're trying to film something shifting back and forth between LOD 0 and 1 and 2 because of the distance of the camera can be a real problem. There's a way around it. So, to get around it, I'm going to go down here where it says CMD, and we can enter direct console commands into the system. And I'm going to type the command R.force, capital F, LOD, space, 0. So guess what that does? Exactly. It makes the level of detail 0, making life much easier. We press enter, and now at all times my LOD in the environment will be 0 for everything in the environment. That just simply makes life easier, and now my character won't have bad hair days as I move forward. When I was testing this earlier, I had a different character, and their hair was just, it looked like they had mange or something. They just I know, it was bad. It was real bad. So that takes care of that problem. We don't get bad hair days, and everything continues to work the way we want it to. Next, we need to get some animations for our characters. Now, there's multiple ways to get animations onto characters. By far the easiest with Unreal 5.4.4 is to use the Unreal retargeting tool. So first we need some animations. So to Mixamo, www.mixamo.com. It doesn't do any good to put mixamo.com. You got to do the www. Log into it with your Adobe account, and it's going to be your personal account, not your school account. Now I'm on Mixamo. Now, I don't care what character you're using. You can use any of the characters in here, but you do need to pick some kind of a character to go with it. And I'm going to look I need something to apply to my MetaHuman character. That's what we're shooting for. Though this works for any skeleton. The process I'm going to show you is good for any kind of skeleton that you're going to retarget with. Mixamo has over 2,000 different animations, so that does make it easy. I just want a basic idle animation. And let's see, my character's female. I can go with just straight idle, or there's one I found earlier, orc idle. That'd be interesting. Dwarf idols, huh? All these cool idols. Ninja idol. Now my character has an idle animation applied to them. Kind of slouchy. Let's look for a different one. Once you've got an animation that you're happy with, go to download. FBX, you want to download it with the skin. Click download. It'll prepare it. It'll download it. I need to go to the folder, and I'm going to copy the idle FBX. I'm going to then go to my documents folder, down to Unreal Projects. Unreal Projects, yes. DET365, content, and I'm going to make a new folder that says Mixamo Animations. And just simply go back in there and do nothing yet. I'm not pasting it. Notice I'm not pasting it. To Unreal, and I'm going to open my content drawer. Make it a little bigger. And jump over here to where I created Mixamo animations, select that, and I'm going to import. Let's click import. And then, of course, my project's in my downloads, my idle.fbx. I'll click open. And then you've got your FBX import options. Make sure that skeletal mesh is imported. At least the first object from Mixamo has to include the skeletal mesh. Any future FBXs that you download do not have to have the skin because you'll already have the skeleton. But the first one, we have to have Mixamo's skeleton for our use. Okay? So first time, got to have the skeleton. Second, third, fourth animation, you don't need the skin. So we need to import the skeleton. We're not going to say that there is a skeleton selected because we're going to import the skeleton. And we obviously want to import the animations because that's what we're really after. So make sure import animations is checked. And then once you've got all of that, click import all. And a few seconds later, you'll get all kinds of stuff. And that's fine because we're not actually going to use any of that. All we're going to use is this idle animation mixamo.com, not the skeletal mesh, but the animation sequence. And notice we have two animation sequences. One is the actual animation and one is a T-pose. The rest of them are just the characters stuff. We're not worried about that. Once you find your animation sequence, your idle sequence, right click on it and find retarget animations. It should be towards the top. By default, it'll have its default skeletal mesh. We need the target skeletal mesh, so click on the down arrow and you should find, let's go with a different one. I'm going to go with the SRT one. And then animation. And we'll export the animation, go to MetaHumans, retarget, underscore, export, and now I've got a new one. Let's try that. Okay, back to my project, body plus animation, retarget, and I'm going to the one that is just showing the hands and feet. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the control rig was messing it up. It was waiting for me to do something. So I delete the control rig and the animation's there. It's subtle, but it is there. So delete the control rig, then the animation applies. Because the control rig was superseding the animations that we had applied to it. Also, under the face is a face control board control rig, which creates really strange things when you've got the camera on the character. It shows the control rigs. So delete that as well. There we go. Now, when I play, she's there breathing softly. That's a fairly long idle sequence too, so that's good. Okay, next thing we want to do, I'm going to get rid of my sphere that I started with. I don't need that in the scene anymore. So I'm going to delete that. What? No, go away. Okay, it's gone now. And then in my scene, currently the camera was focused on the sphere, right? So now we want to track Hannah, right? So we got our tracking looking at her, and our focus zoom should also be set to Hannah so that it is focused always on her. Okay, so we're ready to apply the animation. We got Hannah in there, nothing else. I'm going to go to Add, Actor to Sequencer, Camera Rig Rail. There's my camera rig rail. Over here in my details, make sure your current position on the rail is set to 0. Tell it we want a keyframe. Oh, that was the wrong. Well, it won't make any difference. Go back here. I had it in the wrong position. We're just going to do it opposite. Set that to 1. Set a keyframe to it, and now there we go. We go all the way around, just like that. Now, in theory, we should be able to render the movie. Project 1, the author, project name is Project 1. We're going to call that Rig Rail. Rig Rail. And tell it to render it. There, something's happening. But I don't have Hannah. I think it's rendering the wrong camera. We'll stop. But let's just stop because that was painful. Well, I'm just going to do it the easy way and get rid of the crane.
It's still weird how Hannah wasn't in the render there.
She should have been.
Even if it was the crane. What's cinematic? What's that one?
What is that one?
Well, even then, Hannah should have been there.
We're going to get rid of that. There, get rid of those extra
Do
cameras.
you have any above it at the top of your bar?
Just lighting, Hannah, rig rail.
Huh.
So we should be good now. Play with the rig rail selected. That helps. I'm sorry? No, camera cuts is still there. Camera cuts is bound object is missing. Oh, it was binding to the wrong object. Well, that could have been part of the problem. Onto the rig rail or just the sequencer?
It's in there by itself, not under the rig rail.
Yeah, it's just in there above the rig rail. Like
Okay.
It's just in there.
So you put that.
Yes. But is it not making sure at all?
That's working. Yep, you're right. All I had to do was add the cine camera.
Oh.
Once the cine camera's there, well, it's playing correctly in the camera cuts. So let's try render. Local. Yep, that's working.
Cool.
Oh, so we forgot to put the
I forgot to.
camera in
If I'd added the camera, it would have been fine. That will be all my mistakes will be edited out.
That's part of the learning process.
It is.
Sometimes people make the same mistake.
That's it.
There you go.
Okay, so do that for Thursday. I will record this. I'll put it on Canvas. You'll be able to see it, but I'm going to have my MP4 here in just a few seconds. Yeah, look. I mean, what is this? We've got 4 seconds for this, 5 seconds for the entire process. In that 5 seconds, how long would that have taken to render in Blender?
A while.
A while.
With that kind of lighting,
Yeah. And that was a simple scene. Let's say it took maybe 4 or 5 minutes in Blender, but it took maybe what, a minute?
Yeah.
Even yours, the image
still
sequence
warm.
is-
Yours is still warming up.
Mine went pretty quick.
your image sequence is crazy.
Okay, so then if I jump over here, yeah, that's what mine looked like when it didn't work.
It says it's warming
Okay,
up?
and then under my project file saved, movie renders, there's all my JPEGs, and there's my MP4.
Oh, so you set it up to where you did both image sequences and
Well, it'll automatically do the JPEGs
oh, cool.
because an MP4 is just the JPEGs put together.
Yeah. Oh, so the out of the
So I'll just not set up the MP4 in Unreal and I'll just convert it if I do.
Well, you can do that, and seriously, that's what they do professionally. They take TIFFs.
Oh, yeah.
They use TIFFs, pull it into DaVinci or Premiere Pro, put it all together for your movie, then you add your soundtracks.
It's just like the raw version of digital. Right?
Yes, they're lossless, whereas JPEG is lossy. But for this class, a JPEG can go a lot faster for what we're trying to do. When we get towards something that we want to put on the big screen, then we're going to use real-time ray tracing, and we're going to do a much higher quality. But for what we're doing right now, the lower quality is fine.
Yeah.
We're just learning right now. We'll burn up our computers later.
Yeah.
Okay?
Those ones.
Yeah, yes, the big
Well,
ones.
this one's already set.
We'll put the Alienwares to work.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we got everything working.